Pints and Plates. It's all about the beer and the food. It's happening at HooDoos at Sun Rivers next Thursday. Sitting next to me as we sample some of the pints that will be served, Brian Keast from Okanagan Springs. Great to have you back on the show.
Oh, pleasure to be here.
You were here last year as well.
Yes, I was.
I can't believe that was a year ago, first of all.
It was a year ago. It was
Yeah.
a big hit last year. We're looking forward to doing it again. Very, very fortunate.
So what is the whole idea behind Pints and Plates, Brian?
Well, many people know about dinners with wine, winemakers' dinners, etc. And there's only a few in the Kamloops region that actually do it with beer. And in actual fact, beer can go with different menu items as well as wine can. So that's what we're doing next Thursday night.
Fun. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and you can open that up, Rob. Got another camera. In the kitchen, we have Executive Chef Darren Bezanson, who is chefing up the storm for us. There we go. And of course, joined by General Manager Rob LaRock. Who
Cheers.
Do you need a beer opener? Or you're
You know what? I should be okay. I think we can figure out a way to open up these cocktails and beers.
I
We
know.
got a few on the table, don't we?
These are first world problems, people. How do we open up our beer? Darren looks really good over there. What are you starting with?
Actually, this is kind of our main course. Our first course is going to be an amuse-bouche for the evening. It'll be a pale ale with a smoked Gouda. Then we go into a salad, which is a barley and beet salad with a blood orange vinaigrette, which is going to go with the winter ale. And then we're going to go into our French onion soup, which will be made up with the Raffman, which has some really nice floral notes in that, which will help bring out the onion and all that nice flavor from the soup. Then we go into the Brewmaster Dark, which will be with our brisket that we're going to be doing. And then our last course will be Honey Brown, which will be with our sticky toffee pudding as the final item.
So every course has different beer in it.
If you look at our poster, it says 4 courses and 4 beers. Obviously, we can't count because we've got 5 on the table and a couple more hiding around there. So.
Variety is the spice of life. It's all good. Brian, are we going to sample some of these? And I would love to hear about sort of the history behind some of these beers and learn more about them.
Sure. Well, with the amuse-bouche, which is kind of like a happy hour in the introduction, we have 2 different beers that we're going to be introducing. The first one is, we're not tasting it here right now. We don't have it on the table. That's Sol, which is a Mexican beer, a nice light lager, very low in alcohol, very low in flavor. But the real kicker is this one here. This is our Sleeman IPA. We just introduced it for the winter time. This one is 5.5% alcohol. And I'll give you an introduction as to where IPA comes from. Okay. IPA stands for India Pale Ale. Okay. And what that means, it's a pale ale, but I'll go quickly, but at the turn of the century, last century, the British, who used to make pale ales and send them over to India, found that by the time they made the 3-month boat ride and got to India, where it's average 40 degrees Celsius half the time, the beer would spoil. So the 2 things that makes beer or allow beer to stay fresher is higher alcohol content and lots of hopping. And that's what this India Pale Ale is. India Pale Ale should be above 5.5% alcohol. This one's 5.5, and it's very heavily hopped. Okay. Hopping means bitterness. Okay. And you want that in certain beers.
Good to know. Should we have and I know that Rob just brought over a little bit of Sol for me, so cheers.
Yeah, we forgot about the dough. We can't count. We've got 5 beers on the 4 beers on the poster, 5 on the thing, and an extra one. And we do have a surprise a little bit later that we'll talk about in a few minutes. So.
Okay, good. All right,
so
here we
cheers.
go. Which one is this called again? Sorry, refresh me.
This is the Sleeman IPA.
IPA, okay.
I'm already behind. What are you on?
Sleeman IPA.
Okay,
and that
I'll
is
catch
hopped
up.
Up all right. Holy.
You taste the bitterness?
Oh, hugely. I like it, but I don't think I could drink 6 of those in a row.
There are certain breweries that will double the bitterness.
Really?
Than this one. Yeah, they go right over the top. There's such a variety of beers out there these days. It is unbelievable, and BC has a great selection of beers.
Is there a huge following for a really bitter beer like this, like a really hopped up?
Traditionally, it's the more educated beer connoisseur,
Yes.
and they're always looking for different beers. Yeah. And they love this style of beer. IPAs are very, very popular. As a matter of fact, I must admit, last year's event, last year's Brewmasters dinner at HooDoos, our MLA Terry Lake came to me and said, Brian, how come you don't have any IPAs? So here it is. We got just for Terry.
Just for Terry Lake. That's pretty nice.
Little update here in the kitchen.
Yes.
Beer just went into the brisket.
Oh boy, we should probably get a look at that. I bet that adds a beautiful flavor, Darren.
Absolutely. Brings out the nice richness of the beef. The beef has got that hardiness to it, so the beer complements it really well.
Awesome. All right, let's get on to the second one here. We've got quite a bit of ground to cover over here.
We do, yeah. Not forced to drink them all, but you can have a little sip.
The pressure is unbelievable, let me tell you. It's all good.
Okay, the second one we're doing is our Okanagan Spring Winter Ale. Now, it's a little bit lower in alcohol. It's only 4.8%. And as you can see, it's kind of an amber color. And this is what we would call just a kind of a regular pale ale, not too strong. As a matter of fact, it's very, very mild as far as pale ale is concerned. And what that means, we haven't added a lot of hopping to this one.
Okay.
So,
here we go. Cheers.
Things are smelling really good over here in the kitchen.
It's smelling pretty good over here too, though.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this. They're very different beers, Brian.
They
These
are.
couldn't be more different, these two.
So you notice there's less hopping in that one.
Yes, hugely.
There's a bit more malt flavor, though.
Yes.
Yes.
Delicious, though, still. Okay, next one up.
The next one up is, this is very exciting. This is our Raftman. Raftman is from our brewery that we own in Chambly, Quebec, and it's called Unibrew. And they brew all their beers in the Belgian style. And what that means is they're all re-fermented and they're all cloudy. And they also use all sorts of spices and herbs and fruit in their beer. They make some really, really exciting beers. This particular one here, called Raftman, is 5.5% alcohol, and it should give you a smoky, whiskey, apple caramel flavor.
Sounds good.
One of my favorites. I love this style of beer myself.
Oh, that's good.
A little side note on the Unibrew. The Unibrew beer is actually what spurred on this event.
Is that right?
Yeah, Brian showed up one day with the Unibrew beers to, as a good sales rep does, to spur sales, and he showed up with a bottle that had the a champagne cork on it. And I was hooked right off the bat. And beer with a champagne cork, let's figure out something to do with it. And this is how this event sort of got spurred, yeah.
Fantastic. We still have more beer to try. I certainly want to get over there and check out some of the appies that are being plated as well. But we have to take a quick break, so we're back in 90 seconds. Stay with us. Welcome back. Pints and Plates taking place at HooDoos at Sun River is next Thursday. Brian Keast from Okanagan Springs joining us. We've been sampling some of the beers that will be a part of this event. It's great to have you here.
Oh, great to be here.
Yeah, we've sampled 3. We've got 2 more to go. Let's talk.
Okay, the next beer is our Brewmaster's Black Lager. One of my favorites. As you can see, it's dark. And of course, what makes it dark is the malt. And of course, if you know your beers, the flavor and aroma all comes from hopping, or the bitterness and aroma comes from hopping, and the darkness and the overall alcohol content comes from the malt. This uses roasted dark malts. That's why it's so dark.
Let's try it.
It's 5.5% alcohol. It's kind of a big brother of the winter ale.
Okay.
So you should really taste some real flavor in this one. And this goes very well with our beef main course, and I'm very excited about that.
Executive Chef Darren Bazanson just plating this for us and putting it down. Darren, give us sort of a preview here of what's on the plate.
On the plate there, you've just got just a herb mashed potato with a few vegetables that we put in there, and then we have the braised brisket, which has been slow braised for about 5 hours with the beer as the main ingredient and a little bit of beef stock.
Is anybody hungry? Look at how good that looks.
He makes it sound so easy. Like you just whip it up like it's no big deal.
No, I
serve that every day at home.
Right. Okay, we're going to try that in a minute. We've got one more beer, though, to sample. Which one is this?
One more beer to sample is our Sleeman Honey Brown Lager. It is, believe it or not, it's a lager, but it's slightly darker. As you can see, it's an amber color, and it is infused with honey, actually local honey, because it's actually brewed in Vernon, as all the Okanagan Spring and some of the Sleeman beers are.
I like it.
One of my favorites, very popular, and it's going to go great with our final menu item of the evening.
All right. Delicious, of course. Why is it me only drinking now?
Cheers.
There we go. We have 3 minutes left in the show, so I don't want to take away time from you, Rob, to also discuss just some details about this upcoming event.
Yeah, as you know, I love to talk, Susan, so I appreciate that. I've been just itching to get in here a little bit. But yeah, we've got a great event planned. One thing that we didn't mention was we actually have the brewmaster coming, which I think we talked a little bit about, Stefan, and he'll have a little chat. He's a very interesting gentleman that, you know how sometimes your accent gets worse as you drink? His gets better, so it's easier to understand, which is kind of fun. We've also got opportunity on Thursday nights. Every Thursday night we do flight night, which you can create your own beer pairing dinner. Nice. We do sample boards like you see in front of us here, and we do also the same with wine as well. So that's every Thursday night with a $9.95 appy menu after 7. The event coming up is going to be lots of fun. Brian's brought some prizes. We get to have a great meal, and 4 beers turns into 6. And then at the end, we always hold something special back. Brian was able to secure a couple of cases of, it's called U17. and it's actually a beer that you could cellar like wine. He was telling me earlier today that some people out there have a 2008 that's still drinkable, which is very rare for a bottle of wine or a bottle of a beer. And I think it's a 10% alcohol, so it's one you want to share, not one you want to finish the entire bottle off and then go have a nap. But we're saving that one to the end. So you've got 2 choices to start with. Your 4 beers for fun throughout the course, and then we have a little special one at the end. So lots of fun, lots of prizes.
Here it is if you're looking to find out what's coming up on the show on Monday. CFJCTV.com. Got some great stuff planned for Monday, so please join us then and have a great weekend. Before we go, though, I think that you and I should maybe sample the brisket.
Absolutely,
Okay?
looks
And
fabulous.
for tickets, you can call us up at HooDoos at 828-9404.
They're
Love
huge.
to hear
I'm
from
going to
you.
let you try it. I'm going to try it after we go to break. But anyways, this looks fantastic, you guys. Thank you very much to the executive chef. And yes, tickets are not sold out yet, but it's close. So yes, absolutely think about getting yours, 828-9989. Thanks for being here. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.